Audio test. Audio test. Yeah, I realized that I had the wrong date there. I just fixed that in the title. I decided to schedule it yesterday, and for whatever reason, I hit or I put the wrong number in there. How's everyone doing? Mia, Steele, Steven, Pleb, Ed, Martin, Ice Knight, Greg, Steven, Cheops, Alan, how's it going? Martin, how things been, man? It's been a little bit. Jonathan and Jonathan, how's it going? 4 a.m. stream. Yes, this is certainly a bit of an early stream. You're on vacation. Ramsman, how's it going? August? Yeah, we got a lovely batch of snow here, so that's been real fun. Martin leading the Argentinian revolution soon. Waldo, how's the snow been in your part of the state? Moving north of Chicago? Oof. Hey, you guys over there usually get hit a bit harder than we do here in Iowa. Steven, Stuka, Jay, Bridger, how's it going? You might hear the niece in the background. She was just really wanting to be in this room watching the tablet for a little bit, so I just let her be. Cuba Steve, how's it going? What is it here? I gotta check the weather. Yes. It is currently 3 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like negative 17. Let me bring this up here. In game. It's over. Yeah. What lovely temperatures. So we're getting more snow here in a couple hours. Going to feel like negative 35 this evening. Negative 39. Oh, it gets even better. Oh no. It's going to be negative 16 at 2 a.m. and it's going to feel like negative 44. Damn. Yeah, this gonna be fun. At least it's not warming back up anytime soon. Okay. The 22nd, so all of next week is just gonna be fun, is what it looks like. Gables, how's it going, man? Lazy boy. It's awful here. Stay off the roads. I haven't even. I'm gonna look here. Iowa DOT. We were looking at some of the cameras, like on I-80 around here, and it's been lovely. Yeah, yeah. It's looking around Des Moines here for things like Jordan Creek. Yeah, that's Interstate 80 right now. Lovely. They're down to like one lane on both sides there, pretty much. Lovely weather. Let's see. Yeah, Martin, I saw that with the new Muds bundle, that it is broken, or like it's even the reclaims are showing the incorrect ships. Rob, how's it going, man? How's it? How's the state of decay going? And cables? No, it's too warm. I tried to open the window last night, and like there was just too much snow, like insulating the little gap that I had opened the window up. So it's just been too warm in here. No covering up with a blanket. Too warm. Captain Ronnie, Erica, how's it going? Ronnie, you got a new laptop? Nice. Glad to hear. Lots of great freezing rain. Oof. Scuba Steve, did I get your message about console mods bundles? Yeah, I heard that Cryptic messed him up over there. Honestly, you know, I think this has been a very poor start of the year for Cryptic. Um, the first couple of patches already have been not great. On PC, we still don't have the bonus marks event back. They haven't resolved the issue with the Muds bundle having the incorrect picture in the C store, which is a really bad look on a bundle that expensive. Over on console, you guys don't even have all of the Muds bundles in the C store, even though there's a sale up right now that is supposed to be bringing them back. It just it's not a good start of the year for them quality wise. You also have I didn't put this in the news video, but let me bring it up. Massively OP was saying they didn't even get a press release for the new Stow update. Yes, on the massively OP article for the new season, at the bottom here, they say we don't normally talk about press relations in a news post, but given Embracer has been screwing around with Gearbox and Cryptic for months now, we note here that this is the first Stow update we can remember for which we didn't get a PR notice. We're hoping it's an anomaly and not a new normal for Gearbox under this new regime, or a sign of continuing part stripping behind the scenes. So, yeah, it for the just contact between the devs and the players, and even between Cryptic and the various press outlets, is already off to a very poor start for the year, because you've got one of the biggest updates for the game in quite some time, in my opinion, with the Wolf 359 update, and they're not even putting out press releases to the places they would normally put out press releases. Oh yeah, Rob, I was going to mention to you, man. I was looking at WeMod. You'll be happy about this. They actually support State of Decay. I haven't messed around with it yet. I don't even know if this works in multiplayer. Look at that, Rob. Just what you want. Unlimited health, limited stamina. Let's see here. I don't have Restream, like the full Restream chat hooked up. I was going to set it up, but I had to relink accounts and all that. Just did not get that done in time for this specific stream. Please send help. I have 32 captains to level up. Whoa, that's not a fun time. Jovian and Bowel are showing to pick one of the alliance ships. Yeah, the Jirac, yeah. I put out that video yesterday about the Muds bundles, just showing how it works, and I mean, I should have expected the majority of comments were going to be people not happy about the pricing structure of the Mud stuff. But and there is no doubt the Muds bundles are pretty damn expensive. Chris, Mox, how's it going? CJ, just saw your comment over on the Twitch side too. It was like that over Xmas too. Yeah. Why lately is the captain running through space instead of a ship? It's an old bug that has popped back up. Um, ninth of, yeah. Okay, you're gonna be in for a fun time there. Mark the Chief, how's it going? Yeah, people were not happy about the Muds video, but at the same time, like I've said, the premium ships are more expensive to acquire through traditional means. Like if you're trying to open promo packs, lock boxes to get, a premium ship, you're going to spend more than what the Muds bundle cost for a single character. um, Whiskey, how's it going? Pretty funny firing disruptors from your character's mouth. On PS, player ship is always zoomed too close. Um, Ronnie, depends on how many parts of the event campaign you need to buy out. Like, if you have just one event that you're missing out on, one or two events, like, then that may be worth it if you're going after, like, a premium ship or the Lobby. But if you're going after the T6 coupons, that probably wouldn't be worth it. If you have to buy out more than two events, then I probably wouldn't worry about it. Am I looking forward to seeing what will be in the 14th anniversary bundle this year? Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we already know what's going to be in there. It's just a question of what direction are those ships going to be. That's the big thing. The Jovian Raider turned out to be a pretty fun ship. Yeah, I mean the Jovian I knew was not going to be the most popular ship, but it's something a little bit different. I think there's some of you that would enjoy flying it. Chaltalk, do I think they'll still do promos with Steel Series and Alienware? I would certainly hope so, but their current start off for this year is pretty rough. No, the 14th bundle is the Wolf 359 ships. They have already pretty much confirmed that. So that's like the Freedom, the Niagara, I think the Springfield, and then there's the Melbourne variant of the Nebula, the one that's got like the nacelles up top. I think is what the current theory is. Zoom on consoles messed up. With the Miracle Worker Donnie being in the Muds bundle, do I think we'll still get the Mirror Warship in the 14th? I honestly, I still hope so. But I would not be surprised if it's also something like the Sagan Command Cruiser. Someone's gonna say something about how I pronounce that. I know it's named after Carl Sagan. I just always mispronounce it. I mispronounce a lot of things. I'm sorry. But the Sagan Command Cruiser, I think would be another ship that would be an acceptable option. I've seen some people say the Liberated Borg Juggernaut, but you have to keep in mind the Liberated Borg Juggernaut is already in a Muds bundle. So I don't think Cryptic is going to put a ship into the 14th bundle as the premium ship that is already part of a Muds bundle because they don't want to take away from sales of the Muds bundles. Benko, thank you for the follow over on Twitch, and I forgot to turn notifications back on, so let me do that. Twitch overlays, there we go. When do the giveaways begin? The giveaways related to the anniversary event should start up the end of this next week. The Excelsior 2 in the bundle, you mean, Waldo? That would certainly be a good choice too. Still no new files. I don't want to comment on anything data mining related while I am aware of things. I think it's best for me to not put a target on my back and to not really talk about that type of stuff. But the only thing I'll say there is I'm not surprised that Wolf 359 was the new TFO. When I made all those predictions a month or so back, I wasn't guessing. It was an informed opinion. Let's see here. Oh, I was going to show the Jovian. Damn it. Willow, what are you doing? 14th will have a lot of Galaxy kit bashes. Oh, no. That'd be terrible if I worked for the mob. Yes. And Talk, how's it going? I was going to show off the Jovian. I work for the gold selling mob. Okay, let's take a look at the Jovian here. You and Willow. The niece is trying to grab a box of keycaps out from under the desk right now. Okay, here is the Jovian. What Vandy Shield is this? Emperor's Vandy Shield. Any LinkedIn updates? Yeah, the executive producer for the game has not put themselves open to work yet. But I have noticed that there seems to be a few more of the Stowe team, including the EP, and that they may have had this before, but I've recently noticed that they have like LinkedIn Premium going on. There's no public post, but I think after all the news from the prior members on the team putting up, open to work post, that there's a few looking for employment elsewhere behind the scenes. So yeah, this is the Jovian. Looks like one of the Reaper ships from Mass Effect, is it? My internet is having issues today, so I can't play live. All good, Storm. Friendship on PlayStation is selling for 1.5 billion, and it's not worth 1.5 billion. That is going to remove that insider source by accident at some point. I don't have any insider source, to be completely transparent with you guys. I have no contact with anyone at Cryptic anymore. The people that I would talk to stopped responding to me a couple of months ago, and I think my videos talking about the stuff so far has probably reinforced that some of them probably just aren't going to say things to me anymore. Hello, what are you doing? The 32nd century Tholian ships. Well, the nice thing with this ship is it's got this harvester mode console too, which has this neat transform effect. The issue is that the console's pretty damn useless. So the harvester mode console gives you beam overload or cannon rapid fire, which just doesn't make sense because you already, if you're running beam overload or cannon rapid fire, you have both of them on like permanent uptime via their extension traits. So this harvester mode console just doesn't make sense. Willow. She's trying to grab, I know, Steven, you know these things. She's trying to grab one of these drop boxes of keycaps, and now she's trying to look out the window. No, no, Willow. Ah, no, no. Can't do that. Ace, how's it going? No, it's my niece. Get the webcam. Oh, it's zoomed in too far. Yeah, it's a light. There's
What?
oh, it's cameras. No, it's not a cat. It's my niece who's grabbing everything off of the desk. Try and play with it. Um, how's my mom doing? She's doing a little bit better. Still has some issues with her leg though. Hold on, I will be right back. Okay. The moment I go to pick her up and to take her back out of the room, she immediately jumps back by the tablet. So see how things go for now. Where's the light? I do need to turn these lights on because the camera looks a bit rough without him. Wow, terrible chi-ups. Missed a couple comments. Let me catch back up here. I wonder if Bordicus is still with Cryptic. I can't. Well, I think right now he might be, but I can't imagine for too long if he is. Spencer's persona non grata at Cryptic. Cryptic never has had very good communication with content creators. And the few times that they've had that they have actually went through and attempted to interact with content creators, they've typically ended up getting a very bad response, or something pops up like about that creator. It just hasn't really ever worked out very well for them, but that they've pretty much went into a mode where they just, based on those prior things, they've decided to not really engage with content creators that much, and that's really fortunate. Um, we all know Spencer works for Cryptic, and the niece doing ISE for us is terrible. Ace, how's it going? I already spawned to some of this. Give some foam from one of the drop boxes, fun to play with. She really wants back up now. So it is pretty much confirmed we are not getting a sovereign, pretty much. Fleet Week project, yeah. Well, she's trying to grab whatever she can off the desk, and it's not really toys. Like, I still need to put the sensor in my computer. Hold on, I'm gonna just take her out of the room for right now. Let me go back to the Be Right Back screen. Sorry about that. Finally pulled an epic token. Should I pick Domino for the CS Fidelkina or get Cold Hearted? Cold Hearted works for both. If your build has a way to run like an Ox to Bat or a pilot ability to trigger Cold Hearted, I would probably just go for Cold Hearted because that honestly, Domino's good, but getting Cold Hearted is pretty nice. It is weird because even a lot of games even reward content creators and players watching them via Twitch events. Yeah, it's crazy to me that Cryptic never has really taken advantage of Twitch drops. That's a way to get a lot of exposure on like a platform like Twitch, is to have Twitch drops active. Scott, I don't have any info about the 14th yet, so I can't give an informed response to that. It depends on what the ships look like in their accessories. I know that's a very vague statement, but I can't really say whether or not the 14th is going to impact things without seeing it first. Viper, how's it going? What's the over-under on the 14th bundle? We're just under a month out from it being released on PC, and it is most certainly Wolf 359 themed. I'm wearing pants. Pajama bottoms, but yeah. Terrible plonk. Yeah. Cryptic's marketing has always sucked, and they don't explain anything in the game. Part of that is because they just don't understand. Cryptic has always had an issue in that, especially as you approach endgame things, there's a huge disconnect. Most of the dev team doesn't play at anywhere near an endgame level. So explaining how to do things at that level's not something they're very capable of. Yeah, Genko indeed. Having the actors from the TV shows, movies in is nice. Zord, not that I'm aware of, but they'll probably have some modern skins. Jace, how's it going? Nice, Ronnie. That's true, Steven. Yeah, Cold Hearted only goes up to 5 stacks, and that's team wide. So if you have someone else on your team running Cold Hearted, then it would be less valuable for you. But in solo content, I think it's a hell of a lot more impactful than Domino. Not in game level, but I can do math. Okay. Let's hop in game. I think I'm caught up on chat. Oh, before I do, Jace, which fighter squadrons would I say are better for future or for a pure pets build, weapons being irrelevant? Rare Toduge or the Valkyrie fighter squadrons? When is the best time to sell the R&D promo packs? When an R&D promo pack event is not active. So typically wait a couple weeks. after a promo pack sale and then put them up on the market, and that usually is the best time. But there's a lot more saturation than normal because there were a lot more people buying packs this time around. Where is it? I was going to mention too. Find it. So I am affiliated with Real Merch, and what I want to just share quick is that they have a sale going on for some of the Eagle Moss Star Trek ships, and I'll put this link in both the Twitch and YouTube chats, where you can get 7 of the ships that they have on this deal for $40 or 35 euros, 30 pounds. You can pick 7 ships from here, and you can get them for $40 plus shipping. Casual shill, you know it. And for any of the other stuff on Real Merch that is not part of this sale, I do also have an affiliate code over there. It's 0BUM, and that'll get you 10% off on the things that are not currently on sale over there. Like I said, I am an affiliate though, so I do have to disclaim that if you do use that and you buy anything, I will make money off. No, there's some good ships there. No, this sale has some good ships. I picked up the Zindi Aquatic Cruiser, some Romulan like shuttles. Like it's a lot of alien ships. That's the issue. Is it's not really there's not many Fed ships in this one. There's a bunch of Fed shuttles, but for actual Fed ships, no. There was the Mir Enterprise, but that sold out pretty quickly. But yeah, you just add seven ships to your cart, and it'll automatically apply the code there, and it'll take the price to the $40, 35 euros, or 30 pounds, whatever your local currency is. Does the affiliate code give you? Well, if you hit the affiliate link that I put in, and you purchase anything, I'll get a 10% cut of basically whatever your purchase is. I think something was done on Space Camera Views with this week's patch, shaking cameras on all your characters. That was a couple patches ago. Couldn't they give a more memorable code? You don't like Obum? Yeah, I remember when I first saw the code. That was and they're not terribly sized. I put a picture in Discord. Like here's the Norway that I have. Like this is one of the smaller models too that'd be similar in size to the ones that they have on the sale. So like it's much better detail than the 3D printed ships. And they're partially metal, partially plastic. The reason that they're so cheap is because I think they only have a limited time to go in and sell them. So they only have the rights, I think, to sell the Eagle Moss stuff up through the summer. So they're trying to sell their stock. Did I get the new Muds pack? No. I've had the Jovian on this character since it came out. The Jovian was released at a time when I was still very actively doing DPS runs, and I was using Top Fleet Player as a tank, as my tanking character. But not too terribly long after the Jovian was released, the like roles shifted around within like the DPS runs that I was doing, and I stopped tanking as much. Instead, I was often on the side nuking role because we were doing split runs all the time. Talking about CC code, I added. Nice, thank you, Martin. Yeah, that I don't even remember what that's at. Yeah, that I was not expecting the epic stuff to do so well over the winter sales, but that's went crazy. Cardassian to Pepe with the various Twitter posts. Yeah, Mark, I think a sovereign, a 5/3 sovereign, just is very unlikely. Parker, thank you for the follow. Um, yeah, I put the link in. Let me relink it. There you go, Alan. Let's see. Sometimes it's cheaper to take a loss but get more traffic. Might sell something else. Yeah. What ships do I regret getting the most? That there's a lot of them. Because I'll pick up ships using just EC or a random ship box I get, and then I'll be sad that I went through and got them, sometimes immediately afterwards. So the Jovian is a ship that I did end up not being too happy with. The console on it sucks. It's nice visually. The Starship trait I had higher expectations of, and it just didn't really perform. STrek75, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Fanhome is going to be Eagle Moss' successor, and they said their first collection will have, and Zor, they also said that they're going to redo some of the popular Eagle Moss ships that have less supply. So, like the XL Katinga and most of the XL Enterprises. What four ships do I think are most likely? Freedom, Niagara, Springfield, and Melbourne. Those are the ones that seem to have been hinted at. Thinking of picking up the Shrike, is it any good? So the Shrike, I know a lot of people really like the Shrike. I think it's a good platform. I just don't think it's the best. I think if you're looking for a 5/3 platform that can do, say, surgical strikes, it's going to do well. But if you're looking for a CSV platform, I think there's better options. Like I got the Shrike, and honestly, talking about what ships do I regret, to be honest with you, the Shrike is one of them, because I knew going in that the Shrike wasn't going to be as good as everyone was hyping it up to be. I also knew that I wasn't going to be flying it very long. You can tell how good or bad a ship is, just by looking at the bridge officer setup in most cases. And I looked at the bridge officer setup that the Shrike was getting, and I knew like it was going to be good, but not that good. That there were a lot of people really thinking that this ship was going to be super super crazy, and it's a good platform. It'll be one of the better platforms that most people have, but yeah. Um, Another Federation bundle, yes. I mean, it's a good ship. The Shrike is good. You can do some really decent builds with it. I just wasn't personally very impressed. Captain Wallace, how's it going? I miss a comment from us too? Is the mixed stud here? Did I miss that? Or 1701? Made a lot of EC selling the Shrike? Billy, you got the bundle. Outside of Ruin, are there any other traits that are a must-have? Um, I mean, plot armor is a survivability trait on the Connie, if you don't have that already. Let's see. How well do I think the bundle will sell if it's going to have such obscure ships? I don't know. Um, we're gonna have to see what the full thing looks like. You know, they're not going to announce the anniversary bundle still for another probably like 3 weeks. But yeah. Oh, you were referring to me. Want the angry intrepid? I think that's probably going to be the new lockbox ship, but I don't know for sure, obviously. Um, remember that when Spencer said it's not that good, he's speaking from a top 5 DPSer. Yeah, that's true. Okay, the Shrike is a good ship. It just doesn't actually replace any of the top energy weapon platforms. It's a good surgical strikes platform, but surgical strikes is single target, and as a DPS chaser, I think that single target builds are not good because they're not they don't fit in well with the game design, in my opinion. But I think for those of you that like surgical strikes, that like beam overload, that like the design of the Shrike, it's a capable platform, a very capable platform. I just don't think it's a ship for me. And it was one that I very quickly regretted actually getting because it's a downgrade versus the platforms that I was already using. You're fine, Wallace. Want the Arlington to become a thing? I gotta look up what that even is. Hold on. Have I seen anything about the Alliance Rex? Just that it's a pilot escort. Okay, there's an Arlington that is a Kelvin Connie, and then there's another one that. What the hell is this? That's certainly a bit different. Oh, basically a 4. Gotcha. I mean, I'll run the Shrike here, for a run or two, but like I've said, I just don't personally. For me as a DPS chaser, the ship didn't do much for me. But I think for many of you, you'll enjoy the ship. You'll enjoy that it's got that built-in Juggernaut array. That you'll have fun with the console for a couple minutes until you realize that it doesn't do that well. The Starship trait, I know a lot of people quite enjoy right now. Personally, I think that there's better traits to run. But I think if you don't have some of those better traits, then this is a good substitute for the Cat 2 damage it provides. Stuka, probably just a few weeks. Yeah, Captain Wallace. The thing is too, I said this in the initial video, but keep in mind with Ruin that it excels the best on AoE heavy builds. You can still use it on single target builds, but it's going to be much more effective on a build that is able to hit many enemies at the same time because you're going to get more kill shots. Would love another Andorian ship. I think it's just a matter of time until we get a legendary Andorian ship. Nick, how's it going? Just get the legendary scimitar instead of the strike. Yeah, that's that or the legendary D7. Legendary D7 is actually quite close to the strike. Check scramble. It's expensive, Nick. That's what you need to know. Yeah, I fully expect, Zor, that we're just going to see like a legendary Andorian ship at some point. There you go, Nick. 550. There's 3 of them up there. Does legendary D7 have all of the skins? It has most of them. Okay, Hive Onslaught is the current TFO for the Universal. I'm going to queue up for Hive Onslaught Elite, public queue, for those of you interested. Yeah, Captain Wallace, I agree. I'm hoping that's what it is. I think that's probably the best ship that they could go with. They could also use the ship that Beverly was on in the very first episodes. But I just hope that it's the Intrepid. Cheops. Why would you hate on people using debris screen? I don't have a Discord command, but if you look at the info right below the stream in the description, there should be a link to both the Builds Discord and the Casual Sav Discords. Chadwick, yeah, there's a, I mean, it's a lot of alien ships, but tech, the isomags are better. Oh, Genko, sorry, I was just doing public queues. I probably for most of these will just be doing public queues just because we have. So there's 23 on Twitch, and then there's another 131 watching over on YouTube. So with how many people there are, if I just say to join the public queue, it gets more than one instance to spool up.
You will find clarity. You will have strength of purpose.
Oh, so this isn't even a plasma setup. I know not everyone's a fan of me doing the plasma all the time. This is Polaron. Terrible Megla.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another. Accept the gift.
The portal just like disappeared. The portal console's really buggy. It doesn't actually like to work most of the time. Okay. That. Whiskey Tango, Draconian, Bolster, thank you for the follows. Michael, like I said, I'm looking at it from like that DPS point of view, and to me, for my play style, I did not find the Shrike to be that impressive. But I think still for most people it's a very good platform. It is a legitimately a good do platform. But when I'm looking at like the little checklist that I have for what makes a good energy weapon platform, the Shrike just is missing a couple of them checkboxes. I'm missing a few things in chat, so let me bring this over. Um, Everwind. Sorry for the almost 8 minute delay here on getting a response to this one. Really like the episode on the ideal ship. Seems like many of the stats on the ship don't really impact the. Yeah, so your question's going to be its own video at some point, the one that you asked a couple weeks back. But the big thing that makes a ship good or bad is the bridge officer setup. Like, if I'm looking at a ship and I'm looking at the stats and I want to know if the ship is good or bad, the first thing I look at is the bridge officer setup. You know, things like weapons and the console layout, those are impactful also. But if the ship has a bad bridge officer setup, like it has a bad bridge officer spec combo, then immediately I know that the ship isn't going to be that valuable. So the bridge officer setup is really the like big key way to know whether something is good or bad. And knowing what combos are good or bad there, I'd say generally look at like what the top platforms are. And the Shrike is a good looking ship visually, just I'm negative. I'm very negative about it. Sci-Fi Man, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Yeah, Captain Wallace. Hopefully it is a challenging fight. Hopefully we do indeed end up losing it. Why do they never drop events at the same time for all platforms? They do for the summer and winter events, but the reason is because console has the certification process. Megalith, like I said, terrible. Hopefully. Want it to be challenging. Yeah, I think that this is going to be a riskier anniversary bundle for them. Because yeah, it's going to be new designs, and I don't know how much people are actually going to care about those designs. Again, Sci-Fi Draconian, thank you for the follows. How does the Cardassian fleet carrier bridge setup compare to the upcoming mod fleet carriers? Let me pull this up. Let me get a version of the sortable filterable ship list that I can actually show on stream here. That one. So you're asking about so I'm going to do the comparison over here to the right. So the Cardassian Intel flight deck carrier, and let's compare against the D7. Remember the American Worker Constitution from the Discovery? That is the exact same stats as the D7 American Worker. So looking at these side by side, you have a much more flexible bridge officer setup on the D7, whereas the Cardassian Gamor literally only gets an ensign universal. They're both 5-3 weapon setup. Both have the same console setup. Well, except the D7 being American Worker ship does get +1 console. Let's see here. The bridge officer combo is different, so you're looking at a commander intel plus ensign intel on the Cardassian, so it's dual spec or it's dual of the same spec. Whereas with the D7 American Worker, you're getting that full commander American Worker plus a lieutenant command. So the D7 is or the Disco Connie are both better platforms. Yeah, Stuka. Legendary ships come with the traits from all prior versions. Terrible, Steven. Yeah. If I had to guess the lockbox ship that'll be in the Wolf 359 themed 14th bundle, right now there's a couple different ships that make sense for it. The Sagan Command Cruiser, the Excelsior 2, what else was there? The Mir warship was one that I said I really wanted to be, but if they're going with like a Picard theme, it could be the Sagan, the Excelsior 2. I don't think it would be the World Raiser. I think it's too soon to be the World Raiser. Terrible. I am behind on chat, sorry. What is a good carrier? You look for a ship that has a good bridge officer setup and lots of weapon slots on it, and has by chance 2 hangar bays so that you can focus on your weapons and have 2 hangar bays of pets out. But no, really, what to look for on a carrier? There's no specific bridge officer setup that you're specifically looking for on a carrier. You're more looking for you want to do something else. You want to like focus on your weapons or like exotics when you're doing a carrier build. You don't want to focus everything on the carrier aspect because you still have the rest of the build. Like you still have, 6 to 8 weapons on. You still have a bunch of bridge officer abilities, and you can't focus those on your pets. You have to still focus on doing damage with your own ship. So figuring out what type of build you want to do alongside having the hangar bays is what you should look at there. If you want to run energy weapons, look for a good energy weapon platform that happens to have, a hangar bay slot or 2. I am way behind on chat. So since I say that bridge layout is what makes a ship good, what do I recommend for a good ship build? Jimmy, that depends on what type of platform you're going for. Like the top like spec combo for torpedoes is going to be different from from energy weapons. Like if I'm running a tort build right now, I want a commander pilot plus a lieutenant commander command. That's the current meta for torpedo builds. But there's only one ship that fits that criteria right now, the Terran Eagle. If I'm doing a do build, I ideally want Commander Miracle Worker plus a Lieutenant Commander Intel right now. Like it really depends on what specifically you're focusing on with your build, what your play style is. Like, are you wanting to do a tank build? Then you want a Commander Command plus like Lieutenant Commander Intel or Temporal. Um, terrible. The sagging with the cut off lower engines. Could it be a new Pilot Galaxy? Yeah, that's a possibility. Chadwick, let me see. So let me scroll back up and see if that actually. Sometimes YouTube cuts off the affiliate links. Yeah, if you hit the link and like, so if you hit the link in chat there and you see that it says, up at the top, like the question mark ref 0820 whatever stuff up there, then that is, yeah, giving me the affiliate credit. I just scrolled my chat way back. Okay. Chi-ups. Okay, so debris screen, people building around this one trick pony, zooming all over the map doing. Yeah, I know not everyone's a fan of debris screen. Debris screen is simply a bugged console that has been in the game now for what, a year and a half? No, longer, hasn't it? Debris screen is bugged and it scales up with temporary HP. So it can get some really crazy max ones. The highest that I've seen someone get with the debris screen console when they're fully buffed up and and in there with a team fully debuffing for them is like 350 million. So my thought with debris screen was to probably just go in and use it to one shot the cube in the new Wolf 359 TFO, depending on how they have the queue structured. But I thought it would be funny to just go in and use debris screen and just try to one shot the cube. I just need to get that build set up because I forget what ship I was trying it on, but I need to move it over to the Silic so that I get the debuff console. Does 6 versus 7 isomags make that big of a difference? I would do the 7 isomags if you're able to. I mean, if you can get that extra isomag in, that's going to be beneficial. But I mean, in 6 versus 7, it's a difference, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Okay. What do I think about them getting Sir Patrick to do voice for the Wolf 359 TFO and the voice of Locutus as the board king? I think that would be good, Lonnie. That would be a good surprise for them to do. But I feel like with Cryptic, if they actually got Picard, they'd already be bragging about it. Yeah, they definitely would be advertising about it. Okay, I will be back in just a moment, and then we can do some more TFOs. I just need to crack the window open. And yes, I know that it's like a negative whatever temp out, but I've got two computers running here. It's warm in this room. I've got main PC here, the 7900 XTX, and the second one with the 3090 still, and that just it's so much damn heat. Let's see. Okay. Let me move this back over. Alan, I'm glad you're liking that scimitar. Okay. Next TFO here. We have quite a few on. Let's get a... Oh, Alan, thank you for the mail. Appreciate it, man. Let me pop us into, let's see. The hell with Honor Elite Public Queue. Let's do it. Consoles don't come close to a good gaming PC for heating the room up. No, with the 7900 XTX, I have a BIOS that I flash to it that can take it up to like 550 watts. So if I let it go, if I set the settings to let it go up to that power limit, it gets quite crazy. Yeah. Alan, thank you for the upgrade to the ultra casual membership. Much appreciated, man. What do I think the Wolf 359 TFO will be like? I don't know. I think an actual cube that we can fight would be ideal, but I'm not going to be surprised either way. What's going to probably suck, though, is that the first month of this TFO is probably going to be just the normal difficulty mode of it only, which means that it's going to be a complete joke. Cryptic likes to introduce new TFOs on just normal difficulty only, and the issue is with Wolf 359 is that it's meant to be hard content. So if they do that and it ends up being just a complete joke difficulty-wise for the first month of it being out, I don't think they're going to have a good reaction to it.
To all true Klingon vessels, and
You want to die in the TFO? Well, look what they did to the original no-win. They butchered it. We had the original no-win, which was actually quite fun, and then they replaced it with the current no-win, and like there was an entire community built around the old no-win scenario. Like it literally had channels that people would go in and group up together to run it. And now this new version, almost nobody actually runs it a ton long term, because compared to the original version, it's just not as good.
that smell of deuterium in the morning is most food. The Mokai are attempting to flee from Shipguard Epsilon.
Corpse spread misfired. I don't have Valdor on. Cryptic has butchered some of the older content with the remasters they've done. And the issue is with them is they don't care if it impacts the players. Like, they just went in and changed, you know, Infected a bunch, you know, just in the later half of last year, and like that's a big cue for the endgame community, because, you know, there isn't really, when you get to very late game, there's not much to do, so DPS chasing becomes a pretty big deal, and they basically have put that queue in a position in that you can't reliably use it for the DPS runs right now. Because how, like, was it 90% of the time? It just won't even allow you to, like, upload it, and, like, that's partially an SCM issue, which is why SCM is going to be retired, but, like, that's also, like, the queue just isn't working, and they just don't care to fix it. I'm gonna die here. I don't have any survivability on this build. Yeah. It's getting pretty warm in here. Yeah. Oh yeah, the AI in this game's not super amazing. Julie has a gun. So I'm gonna hit the portal console. The target is off to my right side. I should be able to shoot my primary weapons, like my forward-facing weapons, at the target, but the portal, even though it's active, I still have to actually point my ship towards the target in order to hit them. So the portal doesn't really work the way that you would think that it should. And it's already, like, it prematurely shut off. The Lance, or the Juggernaut array ability on this thing also having a really long activation time is also pretty annoying. Premature shut off is nothing to be ashamed of, Spencer. Terrible. Where's my bonus marks at? I need more fleet marks.
Hull integrity purity below 75%.
Oh yeah, it's their lack of follow up with bugs is bad. I remember back in 2022 when the issues with the Romulan bridge officers started to pop up. Um, well, not just Romulan, just bridge officers in general, where they're getting their racial traits. So to demonstrate this, I'm gonna take off. So right now you see my crit chance is 55.5%. Let me just take a picture here. I'm gonna take off one bridge officer on this build. You would think my number should go down to like 53 because an SRO only gives 2% crit chance and 5 severity, but there's been a bug with bridge officers for a while in that they're getting access to their racial traits, and this has been an issue since 2022. It was fixed, it popped back up, it was fixed again, it popped back up, and after the third or fourth time of it popping back up, the response that I got when reporting it was that at this point it may as well be a feature, and then it was never touched again. So it's been bugged now for over a year, in that bridge officers are getting access to their racial traits, and that means that like a Romulan faction Romulan bridge officer, not the ones you can get from the embassy, are actually giving you more crit chance and severity than they're supposed to. So I'm at 52 right now. If I take another one off, it's, each one's giving me 3.5% crit chance because it's 2% for SRO, and then it's giving me another 1.5% because they're getting the racial trait Romulan operative. Yeah, gotta love spaghetti code, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, to be honest with the infected stuff, I've almost just been wondering, like, were they just trying to push away the DPS players so that they could just go in and replace the queue or something? Is that like their long-term plan, is to replace the board queues? But with how development for things is going, I don't think they'd be putting in resources like that. I miss any other comments? Yeah, a parse map on console would be good. Remember, they've got that in-game parser, but the user interface on it has not been that great. Would I be willing to switch to a new stow with Unreal Engine 5? I'm sure, yeah, but keep in mind that if it's based on current stow, that at the end of the day it would end up looking very similar. The engine has issues, I think we all know that, but visually there's still a lot of room for them to improve the visuals of current stow on the current engine. It's just a matter of time allocation. Chadwick? Nice. Thank you for using the link. Ronnie, I don't watch any of his content. I have no interaction with him, so I don't know any content that he's done. In the recent restructuring, wasn't the one guy from the Stowe team? Yeah, there was one QA person let go. The QA lead, the acting QA lead. Yeah, Chadwick, it worked. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. The in-game parser's on PC only. I'm sorry. They were going to add it to console, but I don't think that they ever got around to it. Okay. Romulan Republic Force, how's it going? Jolene, true to you as well. I'm getting out of the strike. I just legitimately the strike I think it's a good ship, just not for me. Let's see, what do I want to bring out? Yeah, the new seasonal drop in 10 days. Yeah. I will be streaming as soon as the anniversary patch goes live. I've pretty much cleared out my schedule for that day, so I'll be around. I'll be probably scheduling a stream here in the next day or so for the 23rd. Fly the Disco Tooth ship. The build that I have on it is quite dated at this point. It's an older twerp build, and honestly, I haven't flown twerps in quite some time. Never used a parser before. If you're on PC, they're not that difficult to set up. You have a few different options. What is my most hated ship versus the most favored, and why? Okay, so my loadouts on this are bricked. Okay, that one worked. Yeah, my United Earth Defense Force vessel builds on this are not up to date. So I just generally don't really like running tort builds much anymore, to be honest. It's just that the tort builds are, I don't know, it's just that I flew them for so long that I don't know, I just don't really enjoy flying them right now. So most hated ship versus my favorite. The Delkina right now is the favorite. Least favorite. What's a controversial ship that I can say here? I'm thinking. I definitely like the was it? Yeah, the mirror or the Miracle Worker cruisers, like the Tucker. I always visually hated the design of these things. I just was not a fan of this design on them. But if I'm thinking stats wise, the Dyson ships, the Dyson Science Destroyers. I was actively playing when the event was live to get that ship for free, and I hated the design of the Dyson ships so much that I did not go in and pick up any of the. I didn't pick up the free one, and I did not pick up the any of the C store ones. Like I just absolutely hated the design of these things, so I just straight up decided not to get it at all. The Dyson Destroyers, the Science Destroyers and Science Destroyer Warbird. I just didn't like the designs. I completely skipped even getting the free one. Like I I hated the design that much that I didn't get the free one, even though I was actively playing at the time. So let me. So if I go back, you'll see I can't even claim them because I just did not do that event. The World Razor, I've used the World Razor quite a bit. I think the World Razor is one of the top Deeps platforms. The Tooth build that I have here is not up to date. But the World Razor one I have would be a bit more up to date. Jose, how's it going? Stephen, I have ships that are not the Delkina that I like. Wow, I haven't been on this build in a while. Yeah, the World Razor is just straight up one of the top Deeps platforms in the game. It works for CSV, it works with Torps. It's been a while since I've flown this, but when I was using this for some DPS runs, I think we got this almost up to 2.6 mil, which isn't the record, but for those runs, it was pretty good. How does the bridge officer seating on the World Razor help the commander attack? Well, it's the for like DPS, it's the access to recursive shearing, and then if you're doing the torp stuff, you also have concentrate firepower. So like the World Razor, it works very well for a do platform, especially like a beam overload platform. It also does very, very well for CSV, or it works for torps like you see here. Yeah, recursive shearing's really good, especially with the buffs it received not too terribly long ago. I got the Nandy simply because having that interior account wide was nice. Yeah, Jose, I think you'll see some of the new Discovery stuff covered probably half a year to a year after the season drops. Carlos, if you can, like, if you're running phaser, getting the phaser mod would be ideal. But if you like to swap between different damage types a ton, then the beam ones do work. We are getting Moopsy. Cygnus is a good budget alternative. Yes, yeah. The Cygnus is a nice budget alternative to the World Razor. Yeah, the World Razor I had a lot of fun with last year. I haven't flown it in ages, but it definitely has been one of the better one of the better platforms. Like the last time I flew this was before isomags were put into the game. It works really well though. I wonder if we'll ever get any other Confederation ships. Weren't there a couple other Confederation ships shown in those episodes in season 2 of Picard? Confederation Steamrunner. Huh, that sounds interesting. Confederation Nova and Steamrunner. Yeah, I sure hope we see some of them. Can we watch a clip of it? If I play a clip from any of that stuff, that would get like hit on YouTube. Okay. Let's do another queue. I'll bring out the World Razor. OMG, that sounds like a hint. Billy, I don't talk about upcoming content. Wow, such a missed opportunity if they didn't. Yeah. I mean, I know Triz has done a video talking about the Confederation ships recently. Okay. My combat buff on my fleet has apparently expired. Yeah, full uptime on FOD would be great. I would run Fire at Will again on a bunch of builds. I think for upcoming bugs, Picard, you just got to look back, apparently, to what's happened in prior years and expect it to return and not get fixed. Yeah, Triz did a video the other day going over a bunch of the Confederation ships, and like, I don't think he theory crafted any bridge officer setups or anything like that. He was just talking about the designs. Keep meaning to go set up a low clicky no uncon Cygnus with full isomag and colony consoles. See how that does. Should do pretty well. The 14th bundle will launch with an old image? No, never. Okay, let's do an Infected Elite public queue. I know you guys want in. Isomags are just for engineering and universal console slots. Yeah, that's weird, Corey. I don't think that would be the new lockbox ship, though. Because that's season 2 of Picard. I didn't realize a bunch of stuff fell off my tray. I'm gonna die here. I don't have DPR. I'm up yet. Yeah, if I would have gotten just a smidge closer to the gateway. I know it's that the Enterprise F is just going to be making an appearance. Like, I like the Odyssey class, but I would be super disappointed if we got another variant of it in an upcoming, in the 14th bundle. We've gotten a lot of variations of it in just the past couple of years. I'd like, I want new things. I don't want just more of the same. And no control on the gateway is rough. Oh, what's up with my weapon power? Oh no. P cubed. It's because I was on the torp setup when I swapped over to the ship. Oh no.
We will need to send in a
Oh no. I didn't even notice. I was on a torp loadout when I loaded to the ship, and the damn loadout system doesn't put your weapon, it doesn't change your power levels. 630k though, with weapon power set to 15. Damn it. Oh no. I wish the loadout system would take, like, factor in what, like, your power levels. That would be really nice. But unfortunately, the loadout system does not factor in power levels or specializations. Darth, I do not recall the last time I had a loadout actually change my power levels. If we got another Audi and not a new Sovereign, I'd be pretty peeved, yeah. Usually elites take long to go in, but you get them in seconds. So it's because how many people are on between Twitch and YouTube. So right now there's 28 on Twitch and another 124 over on the YouTube side. So I think between 150 people, we should get the 5-player queues to go off pretty fast. Okay. If I hit my torp loadout, does it change it? So I'm gonna set my power level back to the torp setup here. Now, I was just on the do layout, and if I hit to go back to that, doesn't do a damn thing. I have never had a loadout change my power levels. It might be that I typically have one of the power levels locked after I change it, but I do not recall ever having a loadout change power levels or specializations. Yeah, save it. Okay. So let me fix these devices here and see if it actually goes through. Save to Maelstrom. Now if I hit my torp loadout and I change things back to aux, because with the torp setup you typically run max aux power. And if I hit the Maelstrom loadout now to go back to that do one, so I'd saved the, I saved loadout after changing the power level. It just didn't do anything. Could I show the queue window? Yeah. What do you want to see on it, Billy? Yeah, there's elite. Like it appears there, but when I hit it, it doesn't do anything. Okay, we're going to do another queue now. This is going to be another Hive Onslaught Elite public queue. That's the universal, right? Was Hive? Dark Ghost, how's it going? I see the Deligma has gone into the queue with me. Yeah, it's just a bit warm in here. What's the temp at? 78.6. Well, I don't know if you can see that with the lighting in here. It's not picking up the screen, but it's 78 in this room right now. It's a bit toasty.
Did you think you had destroyed me?
I'm gonna die here. Yeah, I'm dead. You know, how's it going? This glass cannon setup doesn't have any survivability, as you can see. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like the Delkina is I mean, I can make this a survivable setup too, but with the Delkina, it's very easy for that ship to do a high amount of damage while still having a ton of survivability.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Oh, I'm dead. Feedback. Yeah. We all basically died instantly there. Yeah, the issue though with that is then you run, if you're doing Isomags plus Colony, is you don't have any universal consoles on basically. This is a non-Isomag setup. This is an old build. Like this setup when I was using the World Razor was before Isomags were even put into the game. Corpse spread misfired. The thing with the Delkina and all Romulan ships is that they have the Singularity core abilities. So on the Delkina, I've got Warp Shadows as like a nice survivability option that I can frequently hit. And that pulls taunt. It taunts the enemies to shoot the Singularity like Warp Shadows instead of like shooting at me. They're gonna give Wolf 359 cue ball feedback. Well, the issue with that, the issue with that is then that just means use a Tort build. Like Tort builds are like the best single target DPS builds in the game, and they don't like feedback doesn't impact them. I doubt they're going to give the cube the Vesta ability that has feedback for torpedoes, but when you're actually looking at single target DPS, that's where torpedoes come into play, is they are the top performing single target option that we have. They are just so amazing in that role. Like, to put it into perspective for you, like if you're shooting a target for a long duration, if it's a target that is somehow able to stay alive for like a minute, a couple minutes, then a torpedo build that's running concentrated firepower, subspatial warhead, like those types of builds, that they can do like easily 10 to 15 times the single target damage that a beam overload build could do. Like when you're looking at single target builds, a single torp build will do more than a team of 5 players doing beam overload. Ball essentially works on the Nadarian Defender. You just have to hit the Defender first. Torp builds are back on the menu. Torp builds have always been on the menu. I mean, torp builds, if you look at the DPS tables, torp builds are still like the top performer for infected, infected elite. They never went away. It's just that you don't see as much coverage on them because I think most of us that have run torps are a little bit burnt out on them. Like, the other issue that I'm having with torpedo builds in a lot of elite content now is that I feel like elite content is dying too fast. Like, I would rather bring in a CSV build, like with the plasma stuff, because I can quickly shift around to the next target. Whereas if I'm running a torp build, I can only hit concentrate firepower, every 15 seconds? And if I have targets dying in 5 seconds, from the torpedoes, that's a lot of potential downtime in most content. Torp builds have their place in longer duration fights against really big targets, but in situations where you have to move around a lot, that's always been their weakness. Yeah, that's possible, Stuka. Question to get Tyheth, do you have to do the Tal Shiar command code missions on a Klingon character? Yes, it has to be pure Klingon. If you do them on a Romulan Klingon, it's going to give you a different pool of duty officers, and you are not going to get the one that you want. You have to do it on a pure Klingon, not Romulan Klingon. I think a Jem'Hadar Klingon would also work, but yeah, it has to be pure Klingon, basically. So if you're looking Viper at like the projectile weapon officers, then the ones that give the damage buff for torps usually is what I ran. Yeah, I think for me, it's also the fact that I was running torp builds, consistently for 2 or 3 years. Like, they have a time and place, and that place tends to be in really niche elite situations or for DPS runs. But I think, just as I'm like getting back into running a lot more varied elite content, I think that they're not the build that people should be setting up. Torp builds are fun. If that's what you want to do, you can make them work in content, but I think for general gameplay, you are much better off. You're going to have a much better experience running ACSV setup. I will be right back again. I need to crack this window open all the way because it is, let me see if I can get this to actually show. Oh, my hair is bad. Wow. Yeah, it's getting warm in here. I'll be right back. Spencer's done preheating. Time to bake. What's going to happen is that it's too warm in here. So I just open that window all the way. And what's going to happen is it's going to get too cold in here now. Because the temp outside is negative 21. I got to do something because the temp in here is getting a bit rough. 79.5. Yeah. GPUs are good space heaters. That is very, very true. Can... Second. Camera. It gets a bit toasty. The GPU is not that warm itself because of the water cooling, but the temp coming from that computer is a bit rough. Okay. Yeah, the issue with the GPU is that there's a lot of defective 7900 XTXs out there. So as soon as I got a replacement, the replacement had no issues. Ramsman, can you ask me that question a week from now? I cannot make an accurate assessment for you at this time. But I can give you a simple yes or no probably in a week or two. I don't know anything about the 14th bundle beyond what they've teased, okay? I don't know stats. I know some of you think I know, but I don't know the stats. I wish I did. Yeah, the Buds bundle sale is going to be active for the next 12 days. Okay. Steven says, I like the Delkina, so I think it's time to go back to the Delkina. Is my solo setup with a gravel one that works. Is a lifetime subscription worth it? If you're on PC and intend to play for a long time, then during a 50% sale, there are cases in which you might be able to justify it. There's a lot of uncertainty though right now with what development's going to look like as the year goes on and what future years are going to look like. So if you enjoyed the game and you play it on PC, then during a 50% sale, I think it's fine. But for console, I don't think I would consider it. I make you sad. I'm sorry. The T6 Norway is the closest budget option to the Dalkina? Yeah. I want to debris screen that wrong photo. Yeah, I need to get my Silic set up. I was talking to Game Freaks about it, and he said the Silic would probably be the best option for me. I guess some of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about with the Silic and the debris screen console. I guess I should show you. Do I not have the Silic on this character? I could have sworn that I did. Apparently not. Well, anyways, the point is the debris screen console scales up with temporary hit points, and if you set it up right, get a lot of debuff on a target, you can go in and get really large max one hits. Like the highest recorded I've seen was like 100 and or not 100, like 350 million. Dark Eddie, how's it going? Yeah, I don't think it was ever fixed. Um, when it comes to Cryptic addressing issues and bugs like that, they are really terrible about it. Um, even if even if sorry, I'm just getting some messages there. Even if there's reports about something being broken, it's unlikely they'll actually go in and fix it. If you're doing Disruptor, I'd probably just do the Soliton Wave Impeller. Just call it a day. Like if you have that, the Psionic Resonator did well. The Experimental Protomatter Lace Sheller still does well. Um, like for me, I would just run Soliton Wave Impeller, call it a day. Yep. I am running a full Oxtabat setup here, so none of the Borg duty officers. I can't English right now. Terrible. Speaking of the Dalkina, or not Dalkina, the Norway, I will be right back again. Will we ever get T6 Dysons? I sure as hell hope not. I know some of you like them, so hopefully. Sorry, that was an incredibly toxic statement from me. I'm not a fan of the Dyson ships, but I personally don't want them to spend dev time on it, but regardless, I just don't think they will. I don't think those ships are going to get an update. Speaking of the Norway, for those of you that missed it, there's a sale over on Real Merch right now. I'll drop the link in chat again here. But they have a variety of the Eagle Moss Star Trek ship models up. They don't have any of the like the normal Fed ships. It's all a bunch of alien ships, but they're about the same size as the Delkina, the Norway that I have. I can't English. I'll put this link in chat. Yeah, I mean, if you have a ton of characters and you want the inventory space, then that can be worth it. But if you're not caring about the storage space, then it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, the size of these smaller Eagle Moss ships is comparable to the ones that I'm going to hold up here. They don't have the Norway on Real Merch right now, but I do have a lot of the alien ships. Another one that I have here is the Vern. Let me bring this up on screen larger. They don't happen to have this specific model there, but they have a lot of the alien models, and this just gives you an idea of what the size of these things typically is. They have a lot of the Federation shuttles too. So they're models that are made of plastic and metal, and they're about 4 to 5 inches in length. Yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, you can look at the Fed ships explicitly here. They do have one of the time ships, a lot of the shuttles. There's the Excelsior 2, one of the or not Excelsior 2, one of the Excelsior concepts, I mean. A lot of shuttles. And unfortunately, the Enterprise they had did sell out. I can't English today. It's the lack of sleep. Okay. Um, is there something wrong with the Stow Wiki? Cloudflare pop up. I need more coffee. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know why the Stow Wiki is down, but yeah, it is right now. Hopefully they get that resolved. Rob, shoot. Can I do a build on an engineer for the real players of Stow? You know, all the characters I have on my account, and like I've got almost 60 characters. And of all these, there are a handful of engineers. But the fun thing is I've never done an actual build on any of them. I was getting messages that the wiki was down. Okay, let's do a Kittimer Vortex Elite public queue for those of you that want to join. And apparently my loadout has just bricked. Okay, that fixed it. Kittimer Vortex Elite public queue for those of you that want to join. Draconian, you go for the damage type. Yeah, don't put like resistance on consoles. You should never have to do that. Get survivability through other methods. I don't remember the last time I personally put like resistance on a build where I went out of my way to intentionally add a resistance item.
Transwarp conduits in this system. There are 2 active form transwarp conduits in this system.
Yeah, to beat content, any class faction works. Is ROM Alien still the way to go with making a character? Yes. So if you're looking to do as much DPS as possible, I would still go for ROM Alien TAC. If you already have a character you've invested a bit in, though, you're fine to just stick with that. I mean, realistically, if you're doing like really, really high-end DPS runs where you're trying to compete at the top of the table, then having every bit of advantage you can get from a Romulan would be beneficial. But it's not like you can't do that on other factions. I mean, Hans, he's a Ferengi on the Fed side, and he's had the top spot on the infected table for quite some time. Nice, Ronnie.
Four probes are approaching the time vortex.
The SV misfired because why not? Any news on the Klingon recruit? The last one you're missing? I think we should see that pop up in the next month or two. Because that was the first one run last year, right? Okay, the board cube's fine. Get over here. No, so Hans is he's a TAC, but he's a Ferengi. Sorry if I missaid that. He's a he's Federation faction, and he's on a Ferengi, and he's able to do pretty damn well. Like your faction, being a Romulan is always going to technically have an advantage, but it's not like you can't do it with the other factions. It's just a matter of especially for that environment, it's a matter of what your team is like. Because remember, when you're chasing DPS, the most important thing is, what type of team do you have? Because you can't do it on your own. Like, doing DPS, especially at a very high level, is a lot of coordination. That's too high of an angle of attack on that one. I think my corpse spread misfired there. Terrible. There we go.
The scimitar has been destroyed, but sensors detected several escape.
Aileron got me.
Denatra's fate is...
Any tips for leveling up 6 duty officer commendations to 4 quickly? I have Gamma and a temp recruit. So one of them that you can do very quickly is recruitment. You just discard duty officers. Yeah, so for the I think it's recruitment doffing. I can't click the right damn window. There we go. Yeah, recruitment. You just discard duty officers, and it will give you recruitment XP. Make sure to pop a duty officer commendation bonus pool also. I think it's just CXP on the exchange, so CXP bonus pool. That'll make things a little bit easier for you. Steven, thanks for stopping by. Have fun. We have quite a few people around. Let's do a Battle of Corfez Elite public queue. 4 commendations for duty officers, Warp Core. I need to update my Thaleron setup. Though I still fully believe, as overpowered as Thaleron is in the right environment, I think that basically nobody should actually go in and use it. Unless you are playing like for like top of the table DPS runs, like you should not spend the hundreds or thousands of dollars a Thaleron build is going to cost you. McLagan, glad to help. I think things misfire everywhere because the cryptic servers are not great. I wish they were better, but I just have no expectation of them ever improving the quality of the servers. Oh, I should have waited just a couple more seconds with that in my alpha. Yeah, the Dosidov, I have no idea.
We've established an automated blockade in an Stop the Vodwar ships from breaking through our defense line.
Again, I just fired it right before my alpha. Damn it. Oh, sub-noob. Yeah, indeed, NeoJet. It's about getting the big burst of damage, and for sustained damage output, it sucks. It's one of the reasons, like, I don't really want to do content like recommending it. If I do talk about it in content, I want to, you know, make sure to clarify to people that it is not the best choice really out there for DPS, like for general gameplay. It sounds a bit gatekeepery, but Thaleron's one of those things where if it's actually relevant to you, you don't need me to tell you. Like, it's... I know that sounds real gatekeepery, but it just is... The harsh reality with Thaleron is if you're actually in a position where you're going to be able to benefit from putting one of those builds together, you would have already done so. You would already be part of one of the groups that has done Thaleron runs. It's just such an incredibly niche thing in the game. And if you try to take it into general gameplay, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna regret that you just spent like $1,000 putting the build together, because it's going to suck compared to a build that cost a tenth of that to put together. Damn sub-nukes. Sometimes that's for the best, though, Chadwick. Yeah, I think Subnuke... It adds a challenge. Oh, Teray. Ah, damn it. The Teray phase of this has been bugged for a long time, so we're probably going to fail it. I don't know if Cryptic has any interest in ever actually fixing this, but I have to imagine no. Cryptic has been increasingly worse and worse with like actually taking care of bugs that pop up in the game, and this is one that happens to have been around for a long, long time. Basically, the Teray phase is going to spawn in all of the enemies for this phase in one go, rather than doing them in waves like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go take out this back wave here. You guys do what you can on the other ones. Yeah, this is unfortunately going to fail because of the bugs that have been in here for a while. Like, it's been like this for a very long time. I don't expect it to get fixed anytime soon. Especially with Cryptic's current state. You see how the game gets real laggy too when there's this many entities in there. they're beatable. Like, it can be, like, you can actually get past this phase if you have, like,
Very disappointed.
2 EPG builds in here.
Abandoned.
I should be banned from saying that. From saying what? Yeah, it's a hell of a bug. They may care with random elites. They haven't cared about other bugs for elite queues for a while. I should be banned from saying that they're bad at fixing things. That is a hell of a bug, it is indeed. I haven't actually gotten my endeavors done yet. So physical damage ground, Tetrion damage ground. Physical is easy, so I'm gonna grab the Tommy gun quick. See how's it going? You can't be so negative on my main account and expect to still be allowed to play the game. There was legitimately a Reddit thread about a month or two back that was saying that content creators that were talking about the layoffs and the uncertain future of the game, so myself, Goss, and 1701, that the person on Reddit said that we should be banned from the game for talking about those topics. They got roasted in the comment section and deleted their account like in less than half an hour after making the post. But it's just like, how? Really? Like, why are people even thinking like that? As negative as myself and other content creators may be about some topics in this game, I feel like someone could be a lot more negative. I feel like everyone's like, all of us that talk about the issues the game has, we want the game to be successful, but at the same time, I think it's pretty easy for most of us to recognize that if someone really wanted to be negative about this game, they could be very negative about it. But people, like, none of us have been like that. Terrible, Ramsman. But I think that was that person's main account. Probably not. Did I get the Cyclic Muds weapon pack? No, I did not. Viper, I'm glad to help. Mark, I don't expect them to play any of the new content they release on anything above normal difficulty, to be honest with you. The fact that the Terran arc with the Inquisitor gameplay experience made it through with how terrible the Elite experience was tells me that they don't test that stuff on hard difficulty. Yes, Ramsman, there are some other content creators that don't like me, and that's fine. I have separated myself from some of the other content creators, and we all do our own thing. Which I think is probably the best for everyone involved. Oh yeah, I want to get my bridge officers to have as many injuries as possible. I heard that if I let them get like a full stack of every injury possible, that the game would feel pity for me and maybe give me better luck on lockboxes. Nah, just die. No interaction's the best way to go. I think people stepping away, taking a break from the game, largely is because of just how slow the content release cycle is for things. It's very common for people to pop up for a few weeks after, you know, an event or new content is released, and then to disappear again. That's just the nature of snow. It's a very, like, the player engagement, I would say, is very spiky. So it's got periods where it'll spike up when there's events or whatever going on, and in the in-between it'll also dip back down quite a bit. That tends to be why fall is a part of the year where you see a lot of people get very doomy about the game, is because it's right after there's been some of the biggest spikes in the year, and then after the summer event people don't really engage as much, and the fall seasons I find generally don't get as much engagement either. So you've got that really big drop off after the summer event, and that's why you get a lot of the doomy post in fall. No, there's been no gambling yet. Yeah, there's a lot of people on the Stowe team that do a very good job, but a lot of their work, it all, like, you go in and start to actually experience the gameplay with the poor server performance, and it just detracts from all of that. Yeah, not having the fall event ship is not good. Not a great move on their part. Yeah, I mean, the tech industry at large has been doing layoffs for a while. That's true. We did get the fall event ship. We just had to pay for it. Exactly. Exactly. Why don't I run the Jupiter Patrol? The issue with the Jupiter Patrol is that it's random enemies. So if you're doing like DPS testing, which was, I think, the idea behind that map, you know, is that it was a place to go in and do like some solo benchmarking. The issue with it is it's not consistent. Like, if I'm doing DPS benchmarking or whatever, testing a build, I want it to be a consistent environment, and the Jupiter Patrol just isn't it.
Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their thaws might come out of hiding. Keep concentrating fire on individual ships.
Guess I may as well finish this. It's on advanced difficulty. I forgot to swap it back.
We will not go quietly. You will stand down and surrender to the Benson Guard. Sensors
Is the
are
winter
picking up
event
small
ship good?
habitations in some of the assets.
It's okay, but it's not worth you spending 1,000 Lobi on it if you missed it, Ronnie. It's not that good of a ship. It's not 1,000 Lobi good, in my opinion. The trade-off of it is an alternative to Intelligence Agent Attaché. It's Captain Ability cooldown reduction when you like first shoot a foe. And it can go off once per foe that you shoot, so you can use it in some environments to get abilities back up faster, but personally, I don't have room for that trait on my build, and I imagine most of you wouldn't have room for it either.
That's got it. Excellent work. We'll send over a pacification party to take the
Yeah, I mean, I can run a Jupiter Patrol, but just like show you the point I'm getting at here. Like the Jupiter Patrol, it was an interesting concept, you know, with the different difficulties, but the fact that it's not a consistent environment, that's what is just really taking away from it. So if I go into the Jupiter Gauntlet, Elite difficulty, let's do hard. The 14th should be the same price as the 12th and 13th. Maybe an extra 500 Zen.
The recent conflict at
Enemy ships warping in near projection station Alpha.
Zenkethy. I'll put my console there on a 30-second timer. Okay.
Next group incoming. Projector
It's
station
not really hard, it's just... Yeah, you should be able to buy the ships individually. They've said that they like that formula, so they'll do that again.
The enemy approaches projector station Gamma. Meet them in battle.
Oh. Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Jupiter Gauntlet Elite, finally. Yeah. Elite Command does get a lot of advertisements, so Stowe certainly does not. Aside from those random torps hitting me there, I mean, it's not been super difficult.
Glorious battle.
Easy, he said and died in a minute? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I am getting sort of slammed right there. Yeah, I'm getting slammed by that group. The last legendary ships can be bought separate? No. Nope. All of the legendary ships have to be acquired through the bundle that they originate from. You are not allowed to purchase them individually. That is a thing with the legendary bundles, a restriction that they have. So for the Zenkethy here, the way to go about this without dying is to get good and time the abilities. So ideally I want to grab well these enemies. I want to get into a flanking position on them. I want to drop the Tachyon Net Drones console, which misfired because I'm playing Star Trek Online and the servers are absolute garbage. But let's get them. You just ideally want to get them grouped up and into Tachyon Net Drones, but this is a really bad Jupiter Gauntlet. Easy, he said, and died in a minute. I know. It's terrible. Documents, how's it going? But the issue with this is that, say I want to improve. Say I want to
We'll analyze the
Okay,
data
so
from this
I know that
event
that run
to
was
build a new
bad.
tactical defense
But let's say I want to go in and see if I can do better. If I go right back into that, it is not guaranteed that I go up against the same group of enemies. So it's not a consistent benchmark. That's the issue is I just, I got roasted by the Zenkethi there. So if I want to go in, do a change to my build and try again, I would have to like leave the patrol and go back in a couple times to try and get that enemy group. Yeah.
Computer in simulation.
Okay, I thought I was giving me a chance to go pick up all the loot. Are set bonuses worth getting? Yes, I am a new player. It depends on the sets. There are some sets that are good. There are some sets where the bonuses just don't really matter. If you look at if you go in and right click on an item and take a look at the 2-piece or whatever, or 3, 4-piece, whatever it has, you can see what exactly those sets would do. Some of the sets have a small buff. For example, this Kabali set, the 2 pieces, 20% hull regen. That's really not that much. The Kabali nanite screens, a little bit of healing. Again, not that much. Like there are some sets where the bonuses are worth it, and there are some that are from like 6, 7, 8 years ago where they're very underpowered in the current state of the game. But like so with Jupiter here, back to this patrol. When it first came out, I was trying to do like a solo no death run where I was trying to get it done as fast as possible. And the issue that I found was like if I wanted to go up against the same group of enemies, I had to warp out and go back in numerous times. Like now, I've got the Vodwar. If I want to go in and see how my build does against the Zenkethi, I would have to leave this and try again, to get in against the Zenkethi. Now these guys are going to sub-nuke me, I just know it.
Incoming! Projector station Beta! Attack! The enemy approaches Projector Station Gamma! Meet them in battle!
Tractor beam style abilities are rather annoying.
The enemy strikes at Jupiter Station! This will be a glorious battle!
Good test for when random lead shows up, I guess, yeah. I mean, that was a bit of a better run. Like 219 on the final timer there, but it was still, I feel like that could have been done faster.
Computer in simulation. Excellent work. We'll analyze the data from this event to build a new tactical defense protocol for Jupiter Station. Thank you for your
I mean, there's some
participation
older
in
sets that
simulation.
are good too.
You may
It
return
really
to your
depends. You have to
regular
look at the
rooms for
bonuses,
convenience.
see what like the numbers are on them, and you know, if you're curious, join the builds Discord. The builds Discord is something that I run, and there's a channel in there called Ask Questions Here. If you're curious as to whether or not a set is good or bad, then this is a good channel to go in and ask, see if what people think about things. Intriguing. How's it going? What do you think's for stopping by? Terrible Cheops. What reputation would I use for, or what reputation set would I use for Zen? Maybe if you were just going to do it for free in game. What reputation set would I use for Zen? I don't understand. Are you asking like at the Nook what reputation to buy with Zen? About your video feature ships that can be created and you talk about potential traits. We still have traits for set piece active ability cooldown reduction. Yeah. Ronnie, I have no idea. I don't really watch most of the other Stowe content creators, to be perfectly honest. My interaction with most of the other creators has also dropped off quite a bit in the past year. So I have no idea what the majority of other creators are doing or not doing. Sorry. Yeah, some cooldown reduction for sets would be nice. Warp Core. I mean, I hang around, you know, Martin's here, Triz, McStud. Those are the creators that I'm around the most frequently. But I mean, just in general, I have in the past couple of years, in 1701, I have had an opportunity to work with some of the other creators that exist for the game, and I because I'm a creator, there's a different level of interaction, and especially on the DPS side of things, if there's a creator interested in the DPS stuff, then they're going to engage with me also a little bit different than they would, you know, if I was just a random viewer of their channel. So I have people that will engage me a bit differently because of those two different positions, and what that has shown me is that there's sub creators that I just don't want to work with. There's some personalities that do not mesh well with me, and that I feel it's in my best interest to be far away from. That would be my response there, Warp Core. Leave Timberwolf alone. Timber is certainly one of them. Timber, yeah. I have gotten some flack for being a DPS elitist. For being a DPS elitist is what some will say about me, but with Timberwolf, we did used to have a fairly elitist saying in the DPS like admin chat that if Timber ever got to the DPS point of what the requirements were for DPS Prime, it was a sign that the requirements were outdated and should be updated to modern standards. That was a an elitist idea back then. I would say the legendary God of Rage. Do I use OBS? Yes, I use OBS with the Stream Elements plugin. I use OBS for both the streams and also the video recordings. If I go in and I'm recording a video, I just hit the start recording button. Indeed, Martin. I have it on display capture right now, but I do have a standalone stow window here, so I can go like this. And it's set up for a different resolution, but I can just expand it there. So I can just capture the game window directly. This is capture specific window, game client.exe, Star Trek Online. And then match title, otherwise find a window of same executable. Otherwise, I could just do display cap. How far off am I from doing my red alert event? 3 hours. Wow. I've been slacking there. In stow, window maximized. Yeah, it's because so the reason OBS is so large right here is because my other monitor is 4K, so it's right now I shifted things around so that my stow's on my right monitor under the webcam, and then my OBS and Firefox are over on my left monitor, which is 4K. So using the 1440p monitor for now, and just trying to make it so that my face is more in line with the webcam. Started up as admin warp core, see if that helps. Who was the CC that had a video showing his Terran officer? Oh, the VOD war. Yeah. That was it Darkblade? Oh, I've hit the edge of the map. Yeah, I don't know why that would be like that for your warp core. Okay. You guys want more TFOs? Yeah, no problem. More TFOs? Okay. Infected the Conduit Elite because it's the only queue in the game that I know. Yeah, Chaltalk, that was Darkblade. Do I think there's a chance Cryptic is going to nerf complex plasma fires? I don't personally see why they would. If they do go in and nerf it, it would be rather concerning. The thing with it is that even with that, it's not like energy weapons or plasma are the top damage build. Like torps are still better and infected. Torps still have a lot more potential. Really, this is basically like a subspatial warheads level damage trait for energy weapons, rather than for a torp build. So I don't think it needs to be nerfed. It's also not that good in lower difficulty content. It really excels in the longer duration fights, especially the solo stuff that I've been doing. I don't see why it would need to be nerfed, but if they did, I think that would be really bad for them. I think nerfing that after so long, especially when it's boosted plasma up and a bunch of people have set up plasma builds, I think going in and nerfing it would be a very bad move on their part. Kathy, thank you.
Scanning the nanite transporter. Got it. Don't take that with me.
Oh, my buff's all went off. Apparently not. Yep. Oh, I'm getting slammed with cooldown reduction here. Everything just going to misfire? Jeez. Again, Kathy, thank you for the $10. Roger, thank you for the $3. Much appreciated.
Repair the transporters. Stop that.
Look at the delay it took for those spheres to spawn in. Like that's one of the things too with like DPS runs. Like imagine you're trying to do a speed run of this specific queue and them spheres are warping in that late. Like the entire, you know, the transformer was dead at that point for several seconds before they spawned in.
Probe is closing in on a transporter. Destroy it.
And look, they didn't even spawn in all of the spheres at the center. Wow, this is a rough run. Like, it's... I don't have the right... I should have stayed on the solo, like, loadout for the survivability aspect. And just because that build had a gravel on it, I should have stayed on that. But that doesn't matter. The server is... You hit abilities, they don't go off. There we go. That was rough ability-wise. Good run, though. But that just ability's not activating. Like, right off the bat, like, this felt... I don't know if it was a CSV. I know the evasiveness fired right at the start, but just annoying. I'm not doing a Borg disconnected. I legitimately dislike that TFO. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Again, Kathy, Roger, thank you for the super chats there. Do I think the new TFO will have any bugs? I expect that we're going to go in. It's going to, like, if it's set up like Crystalline, it's going to take a ton of damage right away and bug out somehow. I expect there to be some bugs with the new content, especially with the... Like, I don't want to be negative, but they haven't really been great on the quality control side in some of the recent releases, so I expect the first day to probably be a bit rough. I expect I'll try the new mission out, and I'll end up, like, using Agony Field Gen, and I'll take out an enemy in the next room that'll brick my ability to progress through the content, because that has happened before. I remember doing one of the Terran stories, like day one, as soon as it dropped. Go in, it bugs out because I killed the enemies too fast on, like, one of the rooms. It's part of the reason I don't want to play new content, like new story missions, day one. In general, the story content's not why I play this game. I play this game because I like flying the ships around. So that's largely why I'm here, but if I am going to play through the story content, playing it day one, generally not the best. Terrible, Eric. The EPS is a race against the servers, yeah. Something we haven't done today. No. Okay. Let's do a Herald Sphere Elite public queue. That's an isomag queue, so let's do something a little bit different.
The Gateway Network gives the Herald the...
Procyon 5? No. Yeah, Stowe has done some pretty big nerfs in the past too, and it resulted in a lot of players leaving and never coming back. So that's always a risk for them. They go too far with nerfs, and they can't afford to lose players. And I'm telling you right now, if they went through and nerfed the plasma stuff this late after the Gorn Hunter was introduced into the game, I mean, that would get people to quit. I wouldn't quit, but I would be rather annoyed. I'd be a bit more vocal about things, but... I know quite a few people that would just stop if they ever did that. Nerfs are only allowed after 2 years of the content or the item being out. Terrible. Chaltalk, I hope so. If the elite random boxes are just marks and lithium, I will consider that to be a bit underwhelming. Like, there needs to be something in there that's an actual incentive, and people, especially once you've been playing for a while, you don't really care about getting more dilithium and marks from a TFO. Like, most of us are already, you know, basically at, you know, many thousands of marks. Yeah, most of us, yeah, on your mains especially, you end up having a lithium backlog quite frequently. So if the new content or the new system is just rewarding what we already have large amounts of, it's going to be underwhelming. But honestly, it's sort of what I expect. Time for a negative comment, but my expectations just are low.
Gateway opening at 1 o'clock.
The lithium exchange was never broken. It's just that there's a backlog because there's so much demand for Zen and there's so much supply of the lithium.
Gateway opening at 2 o'clock.
It's not bugged. It's just it's literally working as intended. It's just not working in a way that we want.
Gateway opening at 10 o'clock. Gateway opening at 6 o'clock.
And not a bug, just a feature.
Gateway opening at 8 o'clock. Gateway opening at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember.
Gateway opening at 12 o'clock. We need to stop the Herald attack on Allied space.
I didn't even realize the timer was there. Yeah, the backlog is basically like 4 days. 4 or 5 days. Yeah, definitely if you want to get your Zen for the upcoming 14th bundle, you want to make sure to get it converted sooner rather than later. I like to fire my Maelstrom without an attack turn alpha. I want it to be weakened, you know. You Cryptic, you don't have to nerf the Maelstrom. I'll self-nerf it by not hitting my abilities.
Take out their command vessels.
Captain Hook, thank you for stopping by. But if you would like to know why I have low expectations about like pretty much any new things that they're going to release, especially with elite that's related to elite content, look at the screen right now. Like a lot of this elite content has had issues for ages. This bug here, Kale ran into it on stream on a 10 forward and said it was going to be like, you know, dealt with. Here we are. It's the next year. It's been many, many months since that incident. And here we are where the Q Herald Sphere has decided to bug out. And we now get to sit here doing nothing for the next 2 minutes. Those patches always have something that they do with them, but they just don't want to. They have their private patch list or patch notes, and then what they actually want to send to us public, which seems to be not much. This is thrilling content. This is Star Trek Online. I like the game, legitimately. I know I sound negative about it quite often, but when this is the experience you get trying to do endgame content where literally no enemies are spawning in because it's bugged out, it's rather frustrating. Similar issue in Vault. There's also, on the flip side, as you saw with the Corfez earlier, where it's instead of spawning in the enemy, the enemies in waves, it just drops them all in one go. So that's the opposite of this issue. But it's just like, it just sucks that they're so disconnected from the end game side of things that they just don't understand that these issues exist. And even if they learn about them, they don't follow through and get them fixed.
Energy levels in the sphere are rising. Check it out. Sensor reading show that the ship is controlling the gateway. Destroy it! The ship is drawing power from the gateway.
There we go.
You will need to shut the gates down.
And then all of that, and it's like 57 marks plus the bonus that I got, so just I don't know, it's just always one of the more frustrating things with the game is just how disconnected they are with the end game side of it. And you criticize something that they do and you'll have them complaining on Twitter about you being negative. It's just frustrating. Okay, let's do, I know the Health Honor was mentioned. That one doesn't bug out, thankfully, so let's do a Health Honor Elite public queue. And then after that, we'll do a Procyon 5 because that was requested. Procyon 5 was requested. People wanted it. But we're going to do the Hell with Honor here first. Yeah. Well, I mean, for the theme, do Procyon 5? No. No.
Our loyal allies.
Warp Core, I've thought about it, but it's been so long since I've run Procyon 5 that I don't even remember like all the mechanics of it, to be honest. Like, I legitimately think it's probably been 4 or 5 years since I last ran Procyon 5. And don't even get me started on doing a solo of it.
Destroy the Mokai vessels before they
Because I am crazy enough that I would try.
The Mokai are attempting to flee from shipyard Epsilon. That's mad. Shipyard Epsilon. Move to Shipyard Beta before the Mokai can escape. 50 seconds. Die here. The Towers power up the Mokai vessels. Take care of the shipyard. That was the last vessel at Shipyard Gamma. Okay, vessels, stop firing up at Shipyard Delta. Engage! Look! Shipyard Delta is now clear of Mokai vessels. The Mokai vessels are powering up their warp core. Stop them!
Give us this in rapid time. Fuck! Watch this way.
Go! Yaula has a honor and love. Give her a warrior now.
Engage close and proceed to the target.
Tear this room apart! Fire the weapon! There might be new weapons. A fine shot. Look at the size of that fireball. Look, the lucky ships are emerging from the rift. The rift has been sealed. You have done well. Close the rift before the unlucky overrun the system.
Increase power and fire the weapon again.
Wait. We're getting strange energy readings from the area. Am I feeling a rift of energy from the nearby reactor? Destroy it. No targeted at spot near a reactor station. It's feeding the rift. Destroy it. Be advised. The reactors have a blast radius of 5 kilometers. The rift has been sealed.
Now we're doing good here. The reactors have been dropping pretty fast. Yeah, it's been a while since this tonight. I honestly, I don't remember how that cube plays out. I just remember it like repeats multiple times, and it's annoying in that way. I've gotten criticism in the past for just focusing on the Borg stuff, and the reason for that is largely because I've played a lot of this older content. But this one's not bad. Health Honor's one of the better cues in the game. But some of the other stuff, like Borg Disconnected, just not the time limits, the way that they're set up time-wise just isn't really enjoyable to me.
Right shield's failing. Hull integrity below 75%.
Success! Let our enemies tremble. For this will be their total.
All the other captains like you will use a lot to fight the battle structure. Right? So it's really cold. Something to get open.
Not so fast. Get close to the focus. Maximum force.
Something big is emerging from the last rift. Yeah. We need to close this rift before we can pursue Gaula. That gigantic Alashi Walker is keeping the rift open. Destroy it.
There we go. What's nice about this queue is the marks are actually rather significant as well. So another 400 marks there.
Attention! All loyal vessels! Victory is ours!
EFP, okay.
Coward Ja'ula has fled from battle.
Got it in my inventory. No.
Revel in the glory you have earned.
Looks like the wiki is down pretty hard. I just got onto the wiki website and it's popping up that the web server's broken. Something bad happened to the wiki website. But no, there you can have hundreds of thousands and millions of marks actually. So I don't think there's a cap, but realistically, there's probably a cap of like 2 bill. PFP is Protomatter Field Projector. Let's see here. I'll keep Tachyon Netrons on. I'll drop Graviton for it. I've got Gravwell. So. Yeah, Protomatter Field Projector, the console. Okay. Battle of Procyon 5 Elite Public Queue. Let's do it. The wiki Twitter account is saying that they were DDoSed. Why would someone... Some people. Yeah. Hopefully they get that all resolved soon as they can, as soon as possible. Is it worth upgrading a ship to its fleet version? If it's a ship that you enjoy flying, yeah. Yeah, like if you enjoy flying the Bozeman Intel Heavy Frigate, then picking up the Soyuz version from your fleet would be would certainly be worth it. I don't have many devices left.
Sphere builders are targeting the Enterprise, moving to intercept at full impulse. Mayday! Core breach imminent! Abandoned ship!
Yes, I remember. These guys got the temporal crap that's been annoying.
That's half of the portals. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, we gotta fly up and disable them, don't we? Okay, I remember now. I actually have to interact and shut them off. But yeah, you can't do it while you have anything applied to you. So as I have the dot on me, I can't actually hit it. Now to do that a couple more times.
The Tax Utat is ready. Fire!
Martin, thanks for stopping by, man.
Command sphere destroyed. We did it. It's...
Wait! The timeline is changing!
The Battle of Procyon 5 is underway. The crew of Enterprise J is preparing to destroy the command sphere. You're right.
I mean, there's fleet ships I've upgraded. Like, if you enjoy flying it, it's worth it.
Wait, no. Bad idea. Granum ships inbound. Moving to intercept and engage. Mayday! Core breach imminent! Abandoned ship!
Granum fleet is attacking the Enterprise. We can't afford to lose her.
I just got an accolade for 20 of the Sphere Builder ships killed. That tells you I've never done this TFO on this character.
Half the portals are down. Well done.
But yeah, doing this solo would suck. It's not that the enemies are difficult, it's the fact that you can't have anything going on when trying to shut down the portal. Any ability activation interrupts it. Like my weapon's auto-firing shuts it off.
The Tax Utat is ready. Fire! Excellent work.
Wait! Timeline change imminent!
The Battle of Procyon 5 is underway. Sphere builders are targeting the Enterprise. Moving to... Wait, no. Bad idea. Credit ships inbound. Moving to... Stay with Enterprise. Yes.
I thought I'd be cloaked there already, apparently not.
Enemy forces are attacking Enterprise. Protect her if you can.
The Nakul are going for Enterprise. Moving to intercept. Mayday! Core breach imminent! Abandoned ship! Nice work on those portals. Keep it up!
Hold your steep yes, I guess.
Technorex just appeared in front of Enterprise. We need some backup.
I'm using the keyboard and mouse. Yeah, no T7 will ever happen. Cryptic lost a good chunk of the player base when they released T6 into the game. T7 at this point, with all the ships that exist now, would just completely kill things.
There's our chance. Fire!
Yeah, I'm using... So I'm... For my mouse, I've got a Death Adder V3 Pro. And for my keyboard, I'm using...
We did it.
The QK100.
This time.
Works quite well.
Now we need to stop them for good.
There we go. Yeah, that queue sucks. It's just not fun. I mean, it was a bit of Mark, sure, but the issue with it is the fact that you can't shut down the portals with the interact there. Steve, you're late to the party, but you're here for the NJ. Terrible. Yeah, the X upgrades are nice. Did you know that if you try to debris screen the crystalline entity, it won't go all the way? I tried it, so I just grabbed like a high HP ship that I had the other day. I think I went with the VOD jug. I'd always cringe getting Procyon in a random queue. I wonder if they're going to do anything to address the random system abuse with this update. For those of you not familiar, you can queue up for a specific TFO to get it to pop in the random system for people, and then you cancel out and they still get dumped into it. So you can like force someone into like a Days of Doom or Grav Kills. I can only imagine what type of trolling we're going to see with the random elites. This game. I mean, debris screens have been known for a long time, and they haven't done anything about it. They're just so severely disconnected from like any endgame issues that it's quite crazy. Yeah, a lot of people just leave it. Yeah. You see, I got it down to 1 HP with that hit, but it prevents you from fully one-shotting it. Which is unfortunate. May as well get my marks. It's still immune? Oh yeah, it's like fully busted now. So me trying to one-shot it like fully broke it there. It's fully immune, stuck at just 1 HP because I just skipped both of the immune phases. Yeah, so it broke it, yeah. Unfortunate. Yeah, but that thing, the debris screen's been in the game for how long? I don't think they're going to fix it anytime soon. They probably don't even know about it, to be honest with you. Arcadia, I don't know. No, the Agony Redistributor is basically fine at this point. I use the debris screen console off of the Courier Pilot Raider. And with that, I was able to... I mean, it wasn't the best max one hit, but I did a one hit to the entity of just under 20 mil. You can get it up much higher. Like if I use that console on a Silic setup with a lot of debuff, then like you can get it up to, I think Game Freak said like 100 mil plus solo. And in a team environment, with a lot of debuff, I know people have gone it up to like 300. The highest parse or number that I've seen of it so far was like 350 mil max one hit. Yeah, it's cheap on the exchange because the Courier Pilot Raider, aside from that, is not great. Yeah, I plan on taking that console into the Wolf 359 TFO with a setup for it and just seeing if I can like one-shot the cube. If it's set up like that, I don't know what it's going to be set up like. Yeah, let's do that again. It's fun to go in and just try to one-shot the entity. The Jovian Raider, so the trait from that is basically like turning yourself into a Kobayashi Maru for your teammates. So if you want to apply buffs to your teammates, that's a good trait to have. Yeah, Storm players, that's my thought. I know Chell's looking at going the Thaleron route. I still have a Thaleron build on my other characters, so I may try that as well. That build needs just a little bit of updating, but it's close to what the Thaleron builds should look like, I believe. Now that is deletion, yeah. Yeah, and I didn't even buff this up all the way. There's ways to buff the debris screen console up quite a bit. I just don't have all of it here yet. The Spire attack consoles are the alternative.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Oh, I didn't get it. 15? It must not have crit. I failed. I completely failed right there. You see the breeze screen console scales up with temporary hit points. It's only supposed to scale up with shields, but it's currently scaling up with the temp HP, so it could get some stupid numbers. Yeah, 9 mil, did I not get a crit? No. 0% crit chance. If that had crit, that would have been much, much better. Did the prior one crit? Yeah. Debris screen off the courier pilot raider. It's been around for a while. We had to ban it from SCM uploads. Like you could still you can still go in and upload a parse with it, but it's not allowed by our rules over there, so it'll get pulled down if a run is uploaded with it. Viper crit D damage for the epic mod, damage for all remaining modifiers. So crit D damage and then damage. The other type of build that we'll probably see some use, like I said, to try and one-shot the board cube in Wolf 359 would be a Thaleron setup. Now, the Thaleron setup I have on SOB is outdated a little bit. It's close, but it would need some work. Yeah, we can do an HSE here in a few. Let's see. Hello, Ernest. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, the thing with these Thaleron setups is they are so incredibly niche. I'm missing a console here. Oh, going well. How's it going for you? Just go with Bioneural. Something nice and easy. But can it one-shot the entity? Let's see. It's been a while since I've run this build, so undoubtedly I'm going to be a bit sloppy here. I'm going to disappoint Chell. But that's just another day. I disappoint Chell every day. Nice. Just got to give it a few for it to decide to, load the map up. Yeah. There's the lovely bug of you need to be in a shuttle. This is where having a World Raiser on this character would be beneficial. The World Razor trait would be good for this. Just not going to worry about it right this second. The reason you can't even do Thaler on console is because of all the buffs you have to hit. I've also got this really long charge up time, so let's see if I get it. Oh, I failed. I messed up. I was too slow or something with a part of it. If Chell was here, he'd be very mad at me. Yeah, the Thaleron stuff is just a lot of timing. You really have to practice it. You have to get like that full like 2 trays of abilities all activated in a couple seconds, and it's a bit tricky. Let's see, what was the hit though from it? It only, so the max one hit was 4.6, garbage, so I completely screwed that up. Let's do a hive. Let's bring in something different. Here's the legendary Borderskew. Yeah, if you do the Thaleron stuff right, you should be able to get max 1 hits that are much higher than what I just did. Yeah, the red alert event is still active. Yeah. Hold on a second. I can show you a Thaleron run. Give me a second. I gotta find it. Yeah. Here is a run from Game Freaks group when they were doing the Thaleron stuff. Just so you can see what a Thaleron run would look like. So Thaleron runs, it's a lot of Silix because the Silic console is really good for the debuff it provides. And the Scimitar positions up behind the gateway here in a position where it'll be able to hit all the spheres when they get sucked up in front of it. So yeah, this is what Thaleron looks like, for those of you curious. This is what like the top of the table DPS would look like with the Thaleron setup. Okay. Let me see if this is actually live here. Can you guys hear me? Fresh. Okay. I am going to end things here. Unfortunately, my internet is being a bit spotty right now. As I posted in the Discord, there is now an outage in my area. It's blipping in and out, so I don't know how long I'm going to still be up here, but it is terrible. It is terrible. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. I'm sorry for the abrupt ending, but This is one of those things that's out of my control. Terrible Cheops. Yeah, stay warm, everyone. Again, thank you to everyone for tuning in, and did I miss any fun comments? Lots of Fs. Terrible. Terrible. Now, we've had a lot of cold weather recently, so that always screws with things. Okay. Again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. I'm sorry to end this so abruptly, but like I said, just one of those things that's out of my control. I will see you guys around.